here right outside Rajghat, where in a protest Swati Maliwal has been sitting in on a fast unto death, she says, and she will remain here till the time proper laws are not enforced. This is, remember, not the first time Swati is sitting on fast. You have done this in the past as well. You sat in for 10 days, if I'm not wrong, 10 days back then. And now she is asking for stricter laws to be put in place as well. Swati, I quickly want to understand first and foremost from you, at this point when we are seeing the country divided into two opinions, especially in wake of the encounter that has now taken place in Telangana, where people are on two sides of the divide over here. There are those who are hailing, flowering, and even burning crackers on what is said to be now trigger justice in this case. And there are others who have raised some very pertinent questions and concerns at this point. As somebody who's not just an individual and activist, but somebody who's also the chairperson of the Delhi Commission for Women, what is your view on this?
The police is saying that the rapist tried to run away. I think that the police has acted out of some kind of a fear in the failure of the justice system. Somewhere even the police has no longer any faith on the justice system. Probably they felt that if they would let these people go away, then they would be having to go through some long justice system and the justice would never be served. If you look at the Nirbhaya's family, in Nirbhaya's case also, despite the Supreme Court ordering death penalty 2 years back, they are yet to be given the punishment. So the entire country is presently very angry. There is no sense of justice whatsoever. In such circumstances, I'm sitting on an indefinite hunger strike. It's my 4th day, and my appeal to the Prime Minister is, please set up stringent systems in this country. Please ensure that within 6 months, at least in the cases of heinous cases of rape, ensure that in 6 months, strongest and the most stringent punishments are given in a time-bound manner. Ensure certainty and swiftness of punishment. Otherwise, this is exactly what is going to happen. If people of this country lose faith in the justice system, God help this country.
So, do you stand in agreement with what happened with the encounter in Telangana? Is that the sense I get from you?
I think the entire country right now is somewhere feeling that justice has been served. That is because there is complete lack of sense of justice in this country. I am appealing to the Prime Minister, if he doesn't immediately set up strong systems in this country, we will have many more such cases. I believe and I strongly believe in the Constitution of India. There is a process for everything. There is a process for justice delivery. Until we set up strong systems, people will start resorting to all kinds of means of getting justice, and that is not okay. So we want a proper system in this country, and for that I am sitting on this indefinite hunger strike. I appeal to the people of this country. This is literally an Arya Par ki ladai for me. Please come and support us at Rajghat.
But are you not concerned with the way things have gone, especially in the Telangana rape case? Are you worried that this could lead to other sorts of street justice that we could see in the coming days?
I know it will lead, because the point is that people are feeling totally suffocated. A 6-year-old girl, she was raped so brutally that her eyes popped out. The Hyderabad girl, she was burnt alive, for heaven's sake. Unnao girl who was going to court in order to get justice, she was burnt alive, and she has sustained 90% injuries by the same man who was set out on bail by the court. There is a complete lack of sense of justice in this country. When you have a situation like this, people will resort to all kinds of things. And if the government of this country really wants this to be the way, God help this country.
When you say people will resort to this, but does that include police officers who are duty bound to follow protocol, to follow what the justice system is, to follow what the law is? And then where do you think the lack is at this point? With what systemic failure is it that needs to be addressed at this point?
There are laws in this country. Unfortunately, those are not being implemented. Last time I sat on a hunger strike, it was indefinite. On the 10th day of my hunger strike, the government brought in a law which said that at least in cases of rapes of children within 6 months, the strongest punishment will be given to the rapist. That's yet to be implemented. I broke my fast on the 10th day. That is yet to be implemented. All other laws which are giving strong punishments to rapists, that is also not implemented. The country completely lacks a political will. There are hardly any police resources, hardly any police accountability, hardly any fast track courts. Even Delhi lacks 66,000 police personnel for the past 13 years. Delhi is lacking 45 fast track courts. Nobody wants to talk about all this. These are the devil lies in the details. These are actually what is required in order to set up a strong and stringent mechanism. Please deliver justice in each and every case. We don't want these random cases. Ek case mein we get justice. This is the manner we get justice. No. Certainty and swiftness of punishment should be guaranteed to each and every woman or girl who has been raped.
So you're talking about political accountability and political will. There is also a sense of infrastructure being provided to police officers for quick delivery of justice. What about the courts? The judiciary seems to be in this debate at receiving a lot of flack for not doing enough, not doing it quick enough, and not sending out a message. When you sit here, talk to women who travel long distances to come and see you, what is it that you hear? What is the sentiment that is within the minds of women in Delhi?
Women and girls from all over the country are coming here, and they have only one sentiment. They fear for their security. There are men who are coming here who fear for the security of the women.
I also see a lot of anger. I see very angry speeches being made here saying that do something else, we'll have to come out on the streets and take law in our own hands. These are dangerous statements to make.
They may be dangerous for some, but the fact is that is the reality. People are very angry. As the DCW chief, many times I take a metro, and when I get down at the metro station at 11 in the night, many times I'm working late. And when I walk down to my house, which is 10 minutes from the metro, there are so many cars that stop, and I myself feel scared. There are thousands and lakhs and crores of women in this country who are not able to venture out freely, who are constantly fearing their security. And if a girl, 6-year-old girl, gets raped, her eyes are taken out. The anger is real, the anger is justified. And if the government does not immediately set up systems, this will lead to very, very bad repercussions.
Are you saying it could lead to a Nirbhaya aftermath sort of a situation where people came out on the streets, or do you think people have become too numb for that also now?
I think people are already out on the streets. If you see, yesterday also there were people who protested right outside the parliament. There was a girl who went alone there to protest. That's another thing, that the police beat her up. This government is trying to curb all kinds of protest. And yes, people are angry and also dejected, because time and again they come out on the streets. And what happens? The government just makes statements about mindsets. According to them, this country is full of people with bad mindsets. Frankly, I don't believe that. I think the systems create mindsets. If you look, I know this is not really a comparable situation, but just a small example. When the Government of India amends the Motor Vehicle Act, they make sure that strong challans are there for strong challans are there for any kind of violation of driving, any kind of pollution violation. You see lines and lines of people who are actually following the rules. So if the rules are strong, it results in change of mindsets. Unfortunately, in our country, there are hardly any rules. Those rules are hardly followed, and case after case after case just hits the bottom. This girl we are still talking about, Nirbhaya we still talked about, there's protest. I can tell you cases of thousands of girls whom nobody knows about. We ourselves have handled 55,000.
What is it that will make you wake up and perhaps get up from this unshan? What is it that your 1 point demand is at this point? Last time I know it was death penalty. This time, what is it?
Last time also actually it was systems. The only thing is that because a law was passed which was guaranteeing a system, they also said in the law that police resources will be provided, police accountability will be set, fast track courts will be set. That is why I got up. But unfortunately, none of those.
And this time?
This time it's very clear. I want a system to be created which implements all these laws. I want greater police resources, police accountability, fast track courts. I want the thousands of crores of Nirbhaya fund which is lying pending in the center. I want it to be spent immediately, and I want Nirbhaya to finally get justice. These are my demands. Until they are met with, I am not getting up because I've had enough.
All right, Swati Maliwal there talking about her demands, one she hopes the government would fulfill. Until then, you will see her sitting here right outside Rajghat.